What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be discussing the second game of the Sunday slate on Draftkings for the Call of Duty League. This game is going to be taking place on April the 4th on the Sunday, and this is the second game. This is going to be a rematch between the Los Angeles Guerillas and the Los Angeles Thieves. Yeah, you heard that right. Both Los Angeles teams are going to face off each other again for the Battle of Los Angeles. In their previous matchup, these two teams, it was a pretty interesting, take for a lot of people. A lot of people didn't think that the Los Angeles Guerillas were going to come out and do anything, but they actually came out and they 3-0'd the Los Angeles Thieves. This was back when they still had Temp in their lineup, the Thieves, of course. Now they replaced them with Venom. So, team might look a little bit different from when they did back then. But, seeing what we saw yesterday from the Los Angeles Guerillas, if you saw their match against FaZe, Los Angeles Guerillas are a team where, they are their best when they are the massive underdogs. They are their absolute best when nobody believes in them, when everybody thinks that they're going to do terrible. They are their absolute best in those positions. So, with that being said, the lines reflect that the odds for the Los Angeles Guerillas to win are, slightly negative. Plus 140 to win for the LA Guerillas, even though they 3-0'd this team last time they played. I don't know why Vegas thinks that, or Bovada, or whoever's setting the lines. I don't know why they think that. Even though the Guerillas beat FaZe yesterday, the best team in, the CDL in the world, basically in Call of Duty. So, I am more inclined to believe that the Los Angeles Guerillas are going to win this matchup because I took them back in the series where they 3-0'd the Los Angeles Thieves. I believe I had money on the LA Guerillas, and I did believe that they had what it takes to overcome the Thieves. The Thieves, in my opinion, are like an overrated team right now. They are not in the best, mind space. They're not, as good as people think they are. They are this close to breaking apart. These core players, Slasher, Kenny, TJ Halley, been together for a while and they haven't been able to do anything. So, they're not, I don't think they're in the right mental, headspace. Like, they just haven't been doing good. The LA Thieves, I do believe that they have lost their past 3 games. Yes, they got 3-0'd by the Atlanta FaZe. They got just absolutely destroyed. A team that the LA Guerillas just beat, mind you. They got beat by the London Royal Ravens 3-1, and they also got beat by the Subliners in a close series 3-2. However, with that being said, we always expect outcomes in the CDL, and then the opposite happens. LA Guerillas came out and they beat the Atlanta FaZe. LA Guerillas came out and beat the Atlanta FaZe when nobody believed they would. So, they could come out here and throw a dud against the LA Thieves and then get 3-0'd by them or just lose the series. Who knows? But I do feel inclined that the Guerillas are a superior team to the LA Thieves right now, even though they are, one of the worst in certain categories. I believe they are a very good search and destroy team. And, I really do believe that the LA Guerillas are going to win this matchup. Now, they are 4-8 in the season right now. The LA Thieves are at 6-6 in the season. We have Assault, Apathy, Vivid, and Silly on the LA side. And if we see here, the previous game against the Atlanta FaZe win. The first game, Atlanta FaZe won convincingly. Like you see here, Los Angeles Guerillas are a really good search and destroy team. They beat them. They beat the Atlanta FaZe 6-2. Atlanta FaZe took the control, and they were looking poised to win. Right? FaZe just, they were looking poised to win. They were up 2-1, and then out of nowhere came the LA Guerillas, and they won the hard point super convincingly. And they just absolutely destroyed the Atlanta FaZe in that last game in the Search and Destroy and Express. They 6-0'd them. 6-0'd them. A team that 6-0's the best team in the world is a very good Search and Destroy team. This team is very good. When they're on their shit, they're very, very, very good in Search and Destroy. So I am very confident that Los Angeles Guerillas are going to beat the Los Angeles Thieves in the search and destroys at the very least. And if they can keep this going, like they were playing in this matchup, they're definitely going to beat the LA Thieves. And I do think they can 3-0 them again like they did before. Now, with that being said, I am looking straight at Vivid for my first pick on the Los Angeles Guerrilla side. If I were to have to pick anybody from the LA Guerrillas, I do look at Vivid because I believe that Vivid is actually the best player on this roster specifically. Vivid, 9,900 for the cap position. I do believe that is decent for him. He's fairly consistent, from the 80s to the 90s. He's fairly consistent. So at that price, at 6,600 at the flex or 9,900 at the captain spot, he's actually a very good pick in my opinion. Vivid has shown like a lot of explosiveness, and he's fairly consistent. I also sometimes I like picking Apathy because I know what he's capable of doing, but sometimes I don't because sometimes he isn't as consistent as Vivid. He can explode, and I actually had Apathy in the game where they played the LA Thieves, and that game he exploded. He went for 132 fantasy points, so he's facing them again. To today's Sunday. He's facing them again. So, if it's a matchup thing, Apathy might repeat that performance. He's more likely to repeat that performance against a team he's already done it against than, a different team with a different look. So, if they're very familiar with how this team plays, they've 3-0'd them before, I do believe Apathy at 6,200 might be an attractive play. Now, as for Assault and Silly, I do believe that Assault, I don't really ever pick him because every time that I've ever picked him, I actually also had him in the LA Thieves 3-0 where they won. I had him and Apathy out of the LA Guerrillas. So that one actually paid off for me. But ever since then, I never felt comfortable with Assault. And then the next time I paid for him, he dropped a dud. I think it was the 73-point game against London. He dropped a dud, but he's a little bit more consistent than Apathy, and he's less consistent. I would say he's a little bit less consistent than Vivid. So consistency-wise, Vivid is number one, and then Assault, and then Silly. Silly has been the one to consistently provide 100 fantasy point games 3 times in a row in the previous games so far. So Silly can be actually the number one right now. He can be the number one at 7,600. He might actually be, the best pick. Now, I don't believe it's going to be the exact same outcome from the last time where they 3-0'd the LA Thieves. I don't think it's going to be the same players going off. So to be contrarian, I would say maybe roll with Vivid and Silly because they are both 7,600 and Vivid at the flex 6,600. You can play either of these guys in the captain position and you can bet your ass that if they 3-0 the LA Thieves or even if they win 3-1, they're going to have good scores. They're going to have very good scores. And I do think that can happen. I really do think that this team has what it takes to beat the LA Thieves in the sound, convincing fashion. So yeah, with that being said, I feel confident in saying that Vivid and Silly, I believe, are the two best values here in this position against the LA Thieves. If you want to be a little bit more contrarian and risky, you can go with Apathy and switch out one of these players. Or you can even triple stack them if you really think they're going to win a 3-0. However, I highly doubt a 3-0 repeats itself. I really realistically see it as a 3-1 or 3-2 close series. As for the LA Thieves side, I really don't have any confidence in these guys at all. They did not look any... Okay, they played the FaZe, Atlanta FaZe. They're the best team in the world, but they just did not look good. They haven't looked good against any team in a minute since the New York Subliners. you know, they haven't won any game convincingly so far. They win their last game that they won was a 3-2 against the Toronto Ultra, and that was a 3-2. It went the distance. So, they couldn't put the Toronto Ultra out convincingly. So, you know, I do not have confidence in this team. I don't think I'm going to be targeting the LA Thieves. If I did have to target one of them, I definitely would look at a player like TJ Halley, because I know that TJ Halley, even though he's cheap at 6,800, he's actually delivered a lot, but he's been doing terrible recently. The team has just been doing terrible collectively. He's been dropping duds. Uh, but prior to the New York Subliners game, where they were actually winning some type of games, he was somewhat producing for his price. He only has like 300 fantasy point games. His highest was 160 against Seattle, but I do not think that's going to happen again anytime soon. I do think that he's a good value though. So that being said, the only player I'm confident with putting money with on the LA Thieves side would be TJ Halley. I wouldn't touch Venom. I wouldn't touch Kenny. I wouldn't touch Slasher. No, they haven't been doing good as a team. I really do think they're going to break up, and this team is going to, look very different. Maybe by the next stage. You know, I don't have any trust in this team whatsoever. So yeah, I'm going to be riding with the LAG. Um, the LAG team position at 2,600 might be a good value. I really do think that's a good value. I do think they're gonna win, so they're gonna get decent amount of points. Um, I say it's a decent value. I'm probably not going to use it because I'm probably going to use the phase one, phase team position. But LAG, seems like a very good deal on the team position. LAT, like I said, not touching anybody. If I would have to, I would probably touch TJ Halley just, to hedge my bet against the Los Angeles Guerillas and the occasion that, the Thieves just come out and smoke them. You never know now. You never know nowadays. Anything is possible in the CDL. So yeah. With that being said, I do believe that the Los Angeles Guerillas are gonna win. I think Vivid, Silly, and TJ Halley are the best plays here in this matchup. I would throw in Apathy in there if you want. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this game. If you like the content, the style of content that I provide here, breaking down Call of Duty matchups in terms of betting on either Bovada, just straight up bets, or on Draftkings, which is like salary based. I like breaking down just Call of Duty games in general, and in the future, I'm probably going to be supporting more esports like Halo and Valorant. Depending on how that goes, if it comes on DraftKings. I know Valorant is already on FanDuel, so I'm considering covering that too over there. So yeah, with that being said, if you like the content, leave a like. If you dislike it, leave a thumbs down. If you think you can give me some input on how to make the channel better, better to view, better for the general public, leave your comments. I'm willing to consider anything, just to make the channel better, overall better in the future. So yeah, if you like the content, you know what to do. Subscribe, and thanks for watching.